Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre in Calgary pitching a united Canada.
We don't need a different country in Alberta. We need different government policies in Ottawa.
Will his message resonate?
No, not at all, because I don't think it's fixable by the Liberals.
That speech was really good.
Plus, a massive earthquake rocks the Philippines.
Hearing that kind of news, not just for me, but like for my family personally, it's very scary, right?
Dozens killed, hundreds injured. Family members afar now desperate for news. And underwater in Exshaw again.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Frustrated residents claim mitigation work to prevent flooding still isn't working.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. A stronger Alberta within a united Canada. That is the campaign slogan for Canada's Conservative leader as he embarks on a summer of trying to convince Albertans to remain in Confederation. Pierre Poilievre kicked off his Remain campaign in Calgary today, but he acknowledges there is a lot of work left to do to convince those who want to separate to change their mind. Tyson Fedor reports.
Backed by Canada and Alberta flags together, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre greeted a couple hundred people at the Royal Canadian Legion Branch No. 1, pushing a message of unity.
If you want frustrated Albertans to vote for Canada, the absolute worst thing we can do is dismiss their legitimate grievances.
The opposition leader is campaigning against Alberta separation, but at the same time says he understands why secession is on the table.
Those who are choosing separation from Canada are not our enemies. They are our fellow citizens. Demonizing people who have lost hope in Canada is no way to restore it.
Those in the room were in lockstep with Poilievre, believing Canada can succeed when Alberta is strong.
Let's not give up on Canada just because we have some issues with the federal government.
I think most Albertans that want to separate are Canadians at heart, and that would be the number one desired outcome.
Well, some younger voters know the cost of living is soaring and understand the separatist sentiment despite wanting to grow with Canada.
Honestly, people just need to kind of understand that a lot of people are very frustrated with how things are going.
But for others, Poilievre's speech on wanting to change policies in Ottawa to benefit Alberta did not move the needle enough to change a vote from separation to remain.
And I think there's people that have just had it up to here, totally up to here. Although I love this place, I wish the message that's going to be sent on October 19th, I hope it's a message that the Liberals will finally say, we do have to fix things.
And political experts believe Poilievre has no choice other than to toe the national line, as separation could be catastrophic to a party that relies on this province.
If Alberta left, that's 34 seats from the Conservative caucus. That's a big chunk. And in the rest of the country, the Conservative brand is likely to be completely discredited.
Speaking in Ottawa, former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien says this is not a real referendum.
It's just a consultation. She asked the people of Alberta to vote for Canada. And the leader of the opposition is the same view. So I'm not too worried, but we should never be complacent.
Tyson joins us from McDougall Centre tonight. Tyson, Poilievre wants to speak with all Canadians this summer.
Well, he's going to start with all Albertans first, Tara, as he plans to meet with people on both sides of this debate. But he will be urging that remaining in Canada will be in Alberta's best interests. He does urge Albertans as well to lock arms with other parts of the country rather than come away from them. He's asking all other Canadians outside of Alberta to actually listen to those concerned Albertans also on why they are feeling the way they are feeling at this time. As we know, October 19th will be when Albertans head to the polls to vote in this referendum whether or not to remain in Canada or start that process for another vote that could lead to secession. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. Corb Lund says his team has collected enough signatures to compel the province to take action against coal mining on the eastern slopes of the Rockies. The country music artist and activist didn't say how many signatures they got, but almost 178,000 were needed for the citizen-led petition. It calls for an end to coal mining in the Rockies due to impacts on the environment, including on water. A successful petition would force Premier Daniel Smith's government to consider either passing a law banning coal mining or sending sending it to the province-wide referendum this fall. Now, Elections Alberta has launched the largest recruitment drive in Alberta history. Organizers say they need more than 60,000 people to work on the October referendum in order to achieve the 48-hour deadline to complete the unofficial ballot count. For comparison, Elections Alberta hired only 13,000 election workers for the 2023 provincial election. Elections Alberta will also print 45 million ballots for October 19th, far exceeding the 1.8 million ballots cast in the 2023 provincial election and the 19.8 million cast in the 2025 federal election. A 47-year-old woman from Airdrie has died after a fall in Kananaskis country. It happened on Mount Bryant Saturday morning, where the woman had been hiking with a group. Stars Air Ambulance and paramedics arrived at Powder Face Trail, but the woman was declared dead at the scene. The victim's name has not been released. Calgary police are investigating 4 shootings since Friday, but an arrest has been made in one incident. At 3 a.m. yesterday, a gun was fired at a man outside the Samosa House restaurant on 104th Avenue Northeast, following a fight outside the Head Over Heels lounge in the same plaza. A suspect took off at high speed in a Dodge Charger, but with help from Hawks, police pulled him over, seizing a handgun from the car. 22-year-old Gurshish Singh Brar faces firearms charges. Police are still looking for 2 other suspects. The man targeted was not actually injured by any bullets. The other shootings happened in Forest Lawn, the Beltline, and the East Village. 4 people in total were shot in those incidents. Police say they have no information to link the 4 shootings.
It was a cluster over the weekend, but if you're comparing it to over our 5-year average, we're still below our year-to-date over the 5-year average. In each of these incidents, we can confirm that the individuals were known to each other, so they were isolated incidents. Again, there's danger to the public, and we're not downplaying the severity of these incidents. In all these cases, we have good leads, whether we've actually either charged people, we have suspects, or we have good links to determine who the suspects were.
Police are asking Calgarians who were near the shootings to check their security cameras, doorbell cameras, and dash cams for any possible evidence. They say even small details can make a difference. A man originally charged with second-degree murder has pleaded guilty to manslaughter in a hotel shooting more than 2 years ago. 31-year-old Ahmed Hassan killed 29-year-old Libin Andiraman at the Super 8 in Shaughnessy. The defense says it put forward a joint submission with the Crown for a sentence of 15 years minus time already served. A dump truck rolled on Bow Trail in the southwest this afternoon. The truck spilled debris onto the street at Bow and 26th Street Southwest. No one was hurt, but the intersection was reduced to 1 lane while crews cleaned up that mess. On Friday, a pedestrian was struck by a commercial truck while crossing Bow Trail. The woman, who was in her 30s, died from her injuries. So far this year, 12 people have died in collisions, including 6 pedestrians. Police say most of those pedestrian fatalities have occurred in marked crosswalks.
Pedestrians, if you see vehicles, don't anticipate they're going to stop for you just because you have the right of way on the road. Make sure you get that eye contact with you and make sure that vehicle is stopped. Not even rolling, but stopped before you step out in the road.
Woodward adds drivers need to anticipate a pedestrian is going to step out onto the road. He says he would like to see additional markings and flashing lights at more crosswalks to help draw more attention to the crossings.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary didn't experience much flooding recently when nearly 100 millimeters of rain fell over the course of a few days. But west of the city, residents of Exshaw haven't been quite so lucky. Many are now bailing out their flooded basements. And as Tyler Barrow reports, they say this was an issue that was supposed to be fixed.
The rain in the mountains has mostly subsided, but now Exshaw resident Kelly Sukin is living with the aftermath.
2020, we thought that was really bad, but this is kind of shaping up to be maybe a much longer event.
The rain began seeping into his basement May 31st during the downpour. Now he's using several sump pumps to drain the unit. It's the same story for many who live on this street.
It's very frustrating. I've had a lot of remediation done.
We need to get something done to this creek. And it's obvious.
As part of the remediation work done after the flood in 2013, a sediment pond was built. The MD says it helped slow the Exshaw Creek's flow, but residents say the pond leads to groundwater running into their basements.
You have to imagine how much water is actually disappearing in the ground.
The MD disagrees that the pond contributes to flooding and points to a 2013 Matrix Solutions study, saying the simulated groundwater levels predicted by the study with and without the sediment pond suggest that the sediment pond does not significantly increase the groundwater levels experienced within the hamlet. Residents we spoke with, like Thompson, dispute the study's findings. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Exshaw.
The mitigation work to prevent flooding in Exshaw began in 2013. It was completed in 2019. Well, a little more rain is on the way for us this week. Let's bring Danielle in. Was this our best day of the week?
You know what? Thursday and Saturday will behave similar to today, but you know, this was pretty much a Goldilocks day, as they call it. Not too warm, not too cold. Just right, 20 degrees. That's right where we should be for this time of year. It was a little on the breezy side, but we had a lot of sunshine. It was a stunning day today, and it's a stunning evening. So get out, enjoy it as much as possible, because of course we make the best of when we get the good stuff. For tomorrow, though, mainly cloudy. The clouds will increase throughout the day, and then by 4 p.m. we get into the risk of some isolated showers, non-severe thunderstorm, pretty small risk of that. And by tomorrow night, we get into some heavy rainfall that will carry right through Wednesday. We're looking at 10 to 15 millimeters of rain with this next round. More details on that just ahead, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Calgary's Indigenous housing program is taking a big step forward with its first new project. The city is putting up tens of millions of dollars to support First Nations build off reserve units. And the first initiative launched this morning. Here's Jordan Canagan.
It's groundbreaking in more ways than one. Calgary's Indigenous housing program breaking ground on a 60-unit project in the southeast, the first one in the city.
Very needed project, a very timely project, and fortunately it has the support not only of Siksika Nation, other urban Indigenous communities here in Calgary, and the city of Calgary itself.
Through Calgary's housing plan, $33 million has been awarded to 16 First Nations and Indigenous nonprofit groups. The project in Aaronwoods receiving nearly $9 million in total from the city and federal government's Housing Accelerator Fund.
We want to be able to give our people a place where they can raise their children in a safe environment that they can afford. And they don't have to worry so much about the struggles of life. As we know, life is hard. We want to be able to help give them some peace of mind in some of the most basic areas of our needs.
The non-market housing will be for Siksika Nation members and is part of the overall effort to reduce homelessness among First Nations members.
We see the city in about 17% housing need. If you're Indigenous, you have 26% housing need. If we speak about the homeless population, 3% of Calgarians are Indigenous. Meanwhile, upwards of 40% of our homeless population are Indigenous.
It's the first new build for Siksika, but it won't be the last.
We understand that housing is a big need, concern for our nation members, and being able to address that concern, both on and off reserve, is big.
And Jordan joins us from Aaronwoods tonight. So Jordan, what's next for the Indigenous housing program?
Well, Tara, so far 24 different Indigenous housing programs and projects have been given the green light. They're all in various stages of development and planning. When they're all completed, though, it'll be nearly 380 housing units. Some of the other ones that are planned will be in Forest Lawn, and Crescent Heights. This Aaronwood one behind me, though, will see construction really start ramping up later on this summer with a plan to move people in early 2028. Tara?
All right, Jordan, thank you. A massive earthquake rocks the southern Philippines. It even triggered small tsunamis. Filipino Albertans increasingly anxious now about family back home. And a devastating fire Saturday night destroys a community hub in Wetaskiwin. That's next. A massive earthquake rocked parts of the Philippines Monday morning. The quake was centered just off the island of Mindanao in the southern Philippines and caused extensive damage. As Kevin Green reports, many in Calgary's Filipino community have family and friends in that area.
A powerful earthquake in the Philippines has left at least 38 people dead and caused widespread damage across the southern island of Mindanao. Buildings collapsed in Davao and other communities on the island as the 7.8 magnitude quake struck during the morning. Children on their first day back at school ran for safety during a flag-raising ceremony as the ground shook uncontrollably. The earthquake also triggered a deadly landslide, damaging homes and buildings, killing 13 people. Many in Calgary's Filipino community have friends and family in the affected area.
It was very scary, a lot of my aunts and uncles are still back home and a lot of my cousins are back home. So hearing that kind of news, not just for me, but like for my family personally, it's very scary.
Earthquakes are common in the Philippines, but this is the strongest reported in decades.
When I was back home growing up, it is part of school to learn what to do during earthquakes.
I've been in an earthquake myself, 7.6, so it is not easy. You always have that trouble and fear, especially for my country, it's so tiny.
Power remains out in parts of the region and many residents are sleeping outdoors after their homes were damaged or destroyed.
I'm worried about them. I actually messaged one of my friends. I asked them, hopefully nobody get hurt, and then he said everyone is okay, but they lost a job and electricity over there right now.
Officials warn strong aftershocks could continue for days.
All we could really do is pray for them and then support them any way we can, like we send financial help to them.
The earthquake also triggered a tsunami, sending alerts across parts of the Pacific. Damage was reported in at least one coastal village, and smaller waves were detected in neighboring countries. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Statistics Canada says nearly 90,000 people of Filipino descent live in the Calgary area, making it one of the largest Filipino communities in Canada.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in now as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast. A little bit of rain in there.
Yeah, we're going to be on the up and down schedule here because some days will be a little cooler and rainy, and then other days are going to be like what we had today. Okay, let's start off with this. Temperatures really where we should be for all of southern Alberta. At this point, especially in Calgary, our normal daytime high for this time of year is 20 degrees, and that's our daytime high, also the current temperature. We're around that 23 mark for Brooks and through Medicine Hat, and 21 in Drumheller. So it did get a little on the gusty side for today, closer to that 50 kilometer per hour mark in Calgary, closer to that 70 kilometer per hour mark over in Pincher Creek, and 65 in Lethbridge, 50 for Medicine Hat. So certainly a windy day. We'll calm things down to about 40 kilometers per hour in southern Alberta. We're getting the winds because of this system for today. But this system, most of it just staying up off to the north and tracking to the east. What we're getting from this is just the wind. This is the next system, though, that's on the way, now moving in through Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, into Idaho, and it's going to basically get shredded by the Rockies, redevelop on our side of the mountains, and it's going to produce a decent amount of rain. Nothing like what we saw with that last system where we had over 100 millimeters of rain, but certainly a decent rainfall where many communities will see over 10 millimeters. All right, let me give you the timeline on this. For tomorrow, ahead of the rainfall, we'll have the clouds increase. So a mainly cloudy day for tomorrow. You may see a couple sunny periods, but don't expect much of that. And then after 4 p.m. in the city, we get into the chance of these isolated showers. So it will be isolated later in the day tomorrow. The intense and more widespread consistent rainfall kicks in tomorrow night, especially through those overnight hours and through Wednesday. And you can see by the yellow here, some of these pockets will be quite heavy at times. The system will circle over us. You can see that snowfall for the high elevations in the mountains. And then this will taper off later on Wednesday, but then we get into the risk of thunderstorm activity, and some of these could reach a bit of a severe criteria where we get medium-sized hail or even that larger-sized hail with some of these. This pushes out for Thursday. So Thursday, things shape up. Sunshine comes out, temperature around that 20-degree range. So again, here's the ups and downs. This is a look at what you can expect with the rainfall. Again, this is Tuesday night, so tomorrow night through Wednesday, and basically closer to the mountains around that 5 millimeter mark. Airdrie down Highway 2 to Claresholm, 10 to 15 millimeters, Calgary included in that. And then the bullseye area looks to be closer to Lethbridge in through Lomond Enchant, where we could see 30 millimeters of rain from this. All right, your Action Furnace 5-day forecast for the city. 18 tomorrow, mainly cloudy, a little windy, at times 40 kilometers per hour, and then the showers kicking in later in the day. Heavy rain Tuesday night through Wednesday. Shapes up for Thursday, and then more rain back on Friday, about 5 millimeters by then.
A piece of Wetaskiwin's history has been reduced to rubble. A weekend fire destroyed the town's Memorial Arts Centre. As CTV's Marian Valdez-Carletti reports, people say it will be almost impossible to replace the nearly 8-decade-old building.
It sucks. I have so many good memories here.
The former Memorial Arts Centre in Wetaskiwin is now a pile of rubble after a Saturday evening fire.
We just saw small flames along the edges, and the fire department was all over it. Again, mainly on the far side of the building, trying to get it from there. They opened up one of the side doors and you could just see all the flame inside.
Another witness saw the roof collapse and hoped some part of the center could be saved.
10:30, 11, it was all still standing. The roof was on fire and pieces had come down, but not like this. I didn't expect to wake up and find out that it was to the ground, for sure.
The city says the fire was extinguished Sunday morning, though firefighters returned to deal with hot spots. The city sold the building 2 years ago, and it was under renovations to become a daycare center. Before that, the Memorial Center was a community hub, a venue for fundraisers, polling stations, and weddings.
My wife and I got married here. 3 kids got married here. Our in-laws had their 25th wedding anniversary here.
I got married here 45 years ago. My sons got married. There was a lot of good times for our community.
Wetaskiwin Mayor Joe Branco says the building, built in 1947, was an integral part of the city.
It is very sad because Wetaskiwin has lost a lot of beautiful buildings, which you can't replace. You can't replace history.
It's very sad for all of Wetaskiwin.
Fire crews managed to prevent the spread to nearby buildings, something Jody Eaton is thankful for.
It was a lot of work. It must have been a very long night considering what it looks like today.
While the building may be gone, people will cherish the moments shared inside.
You know, every time we go by here, we're going to have those memories.
The city says the cause of the fire is still under investigation. In Wetaskiwin, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Coming up, the federal government launches a new loan program. This one will help airlines struggling with high jet fuel costs. We'll tell you why WestJet doesn't like it. And the creepy, crawly caterpillar infestation in some Alberta communities. We have advice from arborists if your trees are getting munched. It was a day for pomp and circumstance in Ottawa as a champion for human rights. Former Supreme Court Justice Louise Arbour took over the role of Governor General. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Couture has more on the swearing-in ceremony for Canada's 31st Viceroy.
Ushered into the Senate by an honor guard, Louise Arbour took her first steps into Canadian history as Canada's 31st Governor General. The former Supreme Court Justice will be tasked with being a symbol of unity and a guardian of constitutional order.
These duties call for sound judgment, deep learning, and an unwavering commitment to the rule of law.
Carney added those are the same principles on which Arbour built her long career.
It is through our differences that we will build a common future.
In a wide-ranging 20-minute speech, Canada's new Governor General celebrated the country's diversity and differences, saying that is how people will build a common future.
Extreme polarization is dangerous, but so is extreme consensus. It is through our differences and our fundamental right to express them that we will nourish critical thinking, creativity, and innovation.
A message that resonated with other dignitaries who attended the ceremony.
She stands for human rights, she stands for justice, she stands for equality, and she laid that all out.
While taking over from Canada's first Indigenous Governor General, Mary Simon, Arbour underlined the importance of reconciliation.
I'm looking forward to working with her in her new capacity, but I know that we are in good stead.
While her message was one of unity and a call to lead on the global stage, Arbour also injected a hint of patriotic humor.
We don't think we are perfect, but we believe we're pretty well on the way there.
Arbour also noted the progress made by the armed forces, without mentioning her damning 2022 report on sexual misconduct in the military. She'll now be the figurehead of the institution as the Commander-in-Chief of Canada. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
With the fragile ceasefire being tested in the Middle East, the markets have remained steady. But as oil and gas prices continue to fluctuate, Ottawa has announced a program to help the airlines cope with high fuel prices. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver takes us through the relief package and how it will work.
Ahead of a busy travel season, the federal government is offering airlines a boost to help offset the impact of turbulent oil prices.
This is an important step, an important signal from the federal government that they are watching this situation closely and that they're willing to put some money on the table to prevent difficulties from taking place in the Canadian airline industry.
Experts say domestic ticket prices in Canada have gone up at least 15% since the war in Iran began. In late April, U.S. Gulf Coast jet fuel hit $4.34 USD a gallon. Now it's fallen to around $3.50 a gallon, still well above the pre-war price where it hovered around $2.
It will take some time for things to go back to normal. Even if the Strait of Hormuz reopens this month, it's going to take time for ships to travel back to it and then the oil from the Middle East to hit global markets.
The Finance Department says that's why they're offering airlines up to $150 million in repayable loans to provide stability and to ensure continued reliable flight access for Canadian air travelers.
The marketplace will drive airline behavior. This strategy of $150 million with strings attached is not going to be enough to drive the airline behavior.
The Conservatives, though, doubt this plan that, similar to what Ottawa offered airlines during the pandemic, will help passengers.
The consumer is never the one that gets the benefit from any of these government bailouts. They are not fixing the crux of the problem.
Airlines who choose to apply for these loans will have to agree to limit executive compensation and to maintain Canadian operations. But the exact details, according to finance officials, will be up for negotiation. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
In a statement, WestJet says it strongly opposes the federal government's offer to dole out loans to airlines. It says the federal funds could be used for other more meaningful purposes, as it's unlikely the airlines will ever be able to repay those loans. Well, if you don't see the point of running, think again. We'll show you how you can churn butter while out for a jog. Our trending videos are next. Forest tent caterpillars sure don't need any help thriving in Alberta right now. Masses of the hairy crawling creatures are being spotted in neighborhoods everywhere. Kathy Lee has more on why the population is exploding this year.
We covered an area about
just days before a cluster of these forest tent caterpillars appeared on Helen Shields' tree. She was in the backyard of her home in Airdrie with her husband when she noticed a large black mass on the bark.
I got up, I saw some things moving, and I thought, no, this isn't good.
Immediately, they sprayed the group down with insecticidal soap.
They just cover the trees, inhale all of the leaves.
And Shields isn't alone. The caterpillars have exploded in communities across the province. In Drayton Valley, the insects blanket the ground and buildings. In Red Deer, they cling to trees. The infestation prompting multiple municipalities to issue public notices, including the town of Olds, where they've made themselves at home in this neighborhood. This entomologist with the Olds College of Agriculture and Technology says the boom happens every decade.
The females will lay 100 to 300 eggs. Numbers were up last year, and so when the population builds, it sort of explodes.
Last year's provincial report revealed tent caterpillars stripped the leaves of almost 2/3 of Alberta's northern forests, contributing to a significant outbreak this year.
It's not entirely certain what causes them, but they seem to have this cycling effect.
While they can look intimidating in large clusters, they play an important role in the ecosystem. This arborist says they pose little risk to people, and for healthy trees, the damage is usually temporary.
It won't kill a tree, and the trees will bounce back the next year if they completely lose their leaves in the 1 year.
Despite that, many people like Shields would rather keep the leaves on her trees. Now she's being extra diligent in case more caterpillars come.
We just keep an eye on it.
Experts say this outbreak isn't likely to disappear overnight. Depending on moisture levels and temperatures, tent caterpillar populations can persist for 1 to 3 years or even longer. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Olds, Alberta.
Okay, let's see what's trending tonight. Have you guys ever heard of a butter run?
Can't say I have.
Okay, this is runners literally strapping heavy cream and salt to themselves inside a baggie and then seeing if they can churn it into butter when they go for a run. This is a real thing, but this is a better idea. Lactancia has dropped the ultimate butter churning vest. So it's inspired by the viral churning butter trend on social media. Their vest is designed with special cooling front pockets. It comes with a container to hold the cream. There is even a dedicated slot for a butter knife. And then, of course, for a slice of bread. Because by the time you get to your run, if you've been successful in making butter, you're going to want a nice, fresh piece of bread.
I wonder how many people are successful.
I don't know.
I wonder about that.
I don't know, but that is funny.
Well, I mean, if you're running that hard, you've worked off the butter already.
You absolutely have.
So I feel like this
you've
sounds
earned
like
a big piece of bread and butter. Absolutely.
Yes.
A Scottish soccer superfan is nearing the finish of a grueling journey to his country's first game at the World Cup.
I'm attempting to become the first man in history to walk the entire length of America from LA to New York, coast to coast, while wearing a kilt.
Wow. 22-year-old Craig Ferguson's making the 4,800-kilometer journey. He's calling it the Tartan Trek. He is also using it to raise money for mental health initiatives with the goal of raising £1 million. He started the Tartan Trek at the beginning of February. Trying to make it to New York. Scotland's first match is against Haiti on June 13th in Boston. So he's got a few days left.
Right?
I got lost in his beautiful accent.
I know.
And I don't even know what he said.
That's great. You follow him anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, if you're enjoying a lunch at a restaurant by the sea, you obviously want to have a window seat. But patrons in Hawaii recently were not expecting this.
Oh,
whoa, a huge wave surged over a wall and onto the street in Kailua Kona, soaking cars and pedestrians. The waves are probably even larger, but they were officially observed at 1.2 to 1.8 meters. That's 4 to 6 feet. They look way bigger than 6 feet.
That would be when you have like a job interview and you're walking down there. See that? You're like, uh-oh.
You're like, no, really, I got caught in a wave.
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah, this is apparently part of a big weather system coming from New Zealand.
Yikes.
Probably really cool when you're in the restaurant, not out of the restaurant.
I'm not sure if there's glass in those windows.
It looks
if all
like
those people got sprayed, I don't know. But anyway, need to watch. Researchers in Alberta are warning people about the risks of vaping for young people. Why people who've never smoked may be at risk.
Skywatch weather camera. Oh, what a stunning day. Right where we should be. The Goldilocks day. Temperature is perfect. We had the sun out. Yeah, a little on the breezy side for sure, but you know. Perfection doesn't always happen. All right, 20 degrees current temperature. Also today's daytime high normal, 20 degrees. All right, so when we look at the next couple of days, it won't be like it was today. This system is tracking off to the east, but it's this system that will impact us. It's going to redevelop over us, kicking in tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, it won't be as wet as it will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow, though, what we will have is the winds picking up later in the day and the clouds increasing throughout the day. So we likely won't see much sunshine tomorrow. Mainly cloudy skies, and then by 4 p.m. we get into the risk of isolated showers, non-severe thunderstorm. And then overnight hours and in through Wednesday, heavy rain at times. 10 to 15 millimeters. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Taking a quick look at what we can expect from the system, if we look at the timeline Tuesday night through Wednesday, closer to the mountains, about 5 millimeters. Cochrane and then down Highway 2, Airdrie, Calgary to Claresholm, around that 10 to 15 millimeter mark. Higher amounts Lethbridge and through Lomond, Enchant up through Strathmore and Drumheller, where it's about 20 to 30 millimeters of rain, with the bullseye area being closer to likely Lomond and Enchant. A little less, around that 10 millimeter mark is what's expected for Medicine Hat. Tara?
Danielle. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre launched his campaign to promote a unified Canada in Calgary today. Poilievre says the best way to deal with separatism is to give provinces more autonomy from Ottawa. Country music star and activist Corb Lund says his team has collected enough signatures to compel the province to introduce a bill banning coal mining on the Rockies' eastern slopes or hold a referendum. But he hasn't said how many names were gathered. And Calgary police say they have no evidence for shootings since Friday are linked, but they have good leads on suspects in each case. A judge is hearing arguments against an AI data center planned for northern Alberta. The Wonder Valley AI project is backed by Kevin O'Leary. His group has filed an application to strike Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation's request for a federal review. The First Nation says it was not properly consulted when a water license was issued for the project.
So we're not even talking about consultation, we're talking about basic procedural fairness that wasn't granted to Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation before the Water Act was issued.
The O'Leary team says the First Nation failed to serve all the relevant parties within the time given. They declined our request for comment. Banff residents are facing a property tax hike, but the town says the increase for its share is roughly the same as Alberta's inflation rate. The town portion of taxes is going up 3.2%, but the education tax portion that goes to the province is going up 12.7%. For a typical Banff property, the overall bill will go up by $245. The town says its budget has been boosted substantially by parking revenues. This year, parking revenue is expected to double from $6 million to $12 million. Well, as we mentioned earlier, for the second time in a decade, Ottawa is offering financial support to Canadian Airlines. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
The last time airlines got help was when they essentially shut down during COVID. Now they face spiking fuel prices, which is why Ottawa is offering aid. Each carrier will be able to borrow $150 million. The higher fuel prices have forced airlines to drop some routes and raise fees. Now there are some guidelines. The airlines would have to agree to restrict dividends and executive compensation, as well as keep Canadian employees on the job. Here are the closing numbers for the day. Canadian dollars up to 71.67. West Texas Intermediate is up to 91.30. Western Canadian Select is down to 74.82. And the TSX gained 65 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Researchers at the University of Alberta say there's evidence nicotine vapes are damaging the heart and lungs of young people who've never smoked. The study compared two groups of 20 people in their early 20s. One group had not smoked or vaped. The second had been vaping for just over 3 years. They'd never smoked traditional cigarettes or pot. The groups were put through a series of stress tests. Those in the vaping group were out of breath at a much lower exercise intensity. The research team also found they were less efficient at breathing and had signs of impaired blood flow to the lungs.
I'm a dad of two teenagers, and when I saw this, I was quite concerned. We started the study initially just looking at a handful of individuals, and it was the first time in my career where I said, you know, we really have to keep doing this because the level of impairment we saw in their blood flow and their exercise was concerning and suggested that there was really some important changes in the lungs that we need to understand better.
Strickland says based on this research, they are doing follow-up studies to track e-cigarette use and lung function over the next 3 years. It's been a tough start to the season for the Calgary Surge. They are winless so far, and today the coach was relieved of his duties. Glenn has that story next. Astronauts on board a SpaceX capsule are sharing the spectacular view of the Aurora Australis. It's the elusive twin of the Northern Lights in the Southern Hemisphere. This time-lapse video shows the impressive green and deep red curtains of light. That's beautiful. Well, this is not the start of the year the Calgary Surge is hoping for. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, it's kind of hard to believe they made it to the finals last year.
Tara, it's been a real struggle for the Surge this season. Surge dead last in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. They're 0-7 to start the year, and you knew sooner or later something had to give, and today the Surge made the move, relieving head coach Perry Wang of his duties. The Surge fell to 0-7 on the season as the Scarborough Shooting Stars beat them 96-80 on Saturday. So far, no replacement has been named. Next game for the Surge Wednesday night when they host the Saskatoon Mamba. To hockey now, and the Calgary Hitmen announced today that Cass Bruni is taking over as general manager of the hockey club. He replaces Gary Davidson, who will assume a hockey operations advisory role and will continue to support the club's hockey operations. Calgary boxer Kamani Crawford had a big bout on Saturday night in New Brunswick. He came home with not one, but 2 belts.
174.3 for Kamani Crawford.
Kamani the King Crawford stepped into the ring on Saturday night with one thing in mind. Crawford went up against Daniel the Beast Beaupre in a unified title match main event. The winner would take home both the Eastern and Western Canadian professional boxing titles, and Crawford got the win.
Yes, I sacrificed a lot to get here, and it just means a lot just to be able to prove that, you know, I could stand up on my own in the ring. I call myself the king, and in the ring, you know, I earned my crown, so more to come.
Crawford says Beaupre was a tough opponent, but he was able to get the job done in 6 rounds. Crawford says it was all in the preparation.
During my off season, I stayed healthy, kept training, and then when I got the call for the fight, that's when I locked in and I turned up my training to high gear. So the preparation is what got me to win.
Crawford has a busy schedule. He also competes in bare-knuckle boxing. The sport of boxing has helped him get his life back on track, and he's forever grateful and is always learning.
It's you versus you. You know, you train hard and you prepare your body and your mind to go in there for battle, and it's you versus you. So, you know, it's all about your self-improvement and your growth. Even if you lose, you take that as a learning lesson, and then you come back stronger. Never give up. That's the motto.
With the win, the King improved to 3-1 as a professional. And the 33-year-old says winning these 2 belts is just a sign of things to come.
We're going to see how far I can make it. Well, I ain't going to stop. You know, maybe the world championship is up in the future. So we just keep going, and who knows where God will take us.
Be interesting to see where that journey goes.
I have a feeling those belts are heavier than they look.
Yeah, they look pretty heavy.
He didn't seem like it was that heavy.
No, he
right?
was just flinging them around. But
strong.
yeah, that would have covered your whole torso, Danielle.
Yeah, whole body, really. Okay, so I'm going to get into it here. And I hate to tell you that we're not looking at 2 days in a row of sunshine this week, but you will still see some sunshine here and there. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy. Later in the day after 4 p.m., isolated showers possible. And then overnight, Tuesday night through Wednesday, that's when we're looking at heavy rain, 10 to 15 millimeters of it. Things get brighter on Thursday, back closer to really what we had today. And then another system rolls on Friday, 5 millimeters expected, then temperatures cooler by then, and it shapes up for Saturday. So, I mean, on and off sunshine you could expect for this week. Weather window brought to you by Luxa Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And Fiona Nelson sent this one in. How adorable is this photo?
That is so cute. I love that photo.
Oh,
so
thank you,
cute.
Fiona.
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.